The opening ceremony of the 2024 Paris Olympics stirred controversy due to a segment featuring a man on a pale horse, which some interpreted as having satanic or apocalyptic connotations. This interpretation was influenced by the biblical imagery associated with the pale horse from the Book of Revelation, which is linked to the four horsemen of the apocalypse. The Olympic ceremony's creators intended this segment to symbolize various themes and aspects of French culture and history. The use of dramatic and symbolic imagery is not uncommon in large-scale performances, and the intention is often to provoke thought and elicit a range of interpretations, rather than to convey a literal or religious message. It's important to recognize that artistic expressions in ceremonies like these can be interpreted in multiple ways, and what some might see as controversial, others might view as a creative or symbolic representation.
In many interpretations, the Antichrist is seen as a deceptive leader who will appear in the end times, claiming to be Christ or a savior figure, but ultimately leading people away from true Christian teachings. This figure is often associated with the end of the world and is believed to bring great suffering and tribulation before the final judgment. Historical and theological interpretations. Throughout history, various figures and movements have been labeled as Antichrist by different Christian groups. The concept has been used symbolically to represent any force or ideology seen as opposed to Christian values or teachings. Popular culture. The Antichrist has also made its way into popular culture, including literature, film, and art, often depicted in dramatic and varied ways that play on its apocalyptic associations.
The 2024 Paris Olympics opening ceremony featured a dramatic and symbolic performance, which included a man riding a pale horse. This segment was intended to represent various themes and elements related to the history, culture, and aspirations of France. The use of a pale horse can evoke biblical imagery, often associated with dramatic change or significant events. But in the context of the ceremony, it was likely meant to be a powerful visual metaphor rather than a literal or ominous reference. The performance was part of a larger narrative designed to celebrate and capture the spirit of the games and the host city. The pale horse is a reference from the biblical Book of Revelation, specifically Revelation 6:8, where it describes one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. This pale horse is often associated with death or the end of times.